I realized when we were talking as a group before this Twitter Spaces that I listen to the soundtracks from kids' movies. So Sing 2, if anyone has kids and or has just seen Sing 2, that's kind of the only music I'm listening to right now, for better or for worse.
I don't have kids, but I can say that I'm gonna have to adjust to that because I really don't like kids' music, and I don't like music where kids are singing, especially like I don't know. Maybe I'll just have cats for the rest of my life.
Have you not heard or watched Sing though? I mean, that's good stuff there.
What is it called?
Sing, and then there's Sing 2, which is a sequel.
Oh, well, you said sing though, and my brain put it together as one word, sing. I have not seen Sing. I saw Soul.
Okay. What'd you think?
Two different movies. I loved it. I thought that was great. But I mean, that's kind of like one of those like Pixar movies that are just like dope for adults. You know, it's got some deep content in it.
I mean, I think what you're saying implies that not all Pixar movies are dope for adults. Which
is
wrong.
Sing Pixar?
That's a good question. Let's ask Google.
Sorry, what was the question, Isabelle?
Oh, it's right. Waterboy's fetching the water.
Sing is Pixar.
Okay, I'm going to have to watch Sing.
Or is it?
You know who I'd love to bring up? I'd love to bring up Sarah, who's in the audience, but I already know that she doesn't want to, so I'm not actually going to bring her up. I just wanted to freak her out for a sec. Hi, Sarah. And I would actually really love to bring up Raw Gallery NFT. I'm just a big fan of what you're doing in the space. If you want to come up and say hello, please request to come up here before we kick things off tonight. Oh, Sarah's coming up. It just says connecting and spinning wheel of death. Hey, Ra. How are you?
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
We can.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, we're about 5 minutes away from kind of kicking off our session tonight. And while we're waiting for some more people to show up, we haven't really connected yet, aside from, Twitter and, DMs and all of that. So I just wanted you to come up and say hello. And I've just been curious, how Raw Gallery NFT got started. Was this your idea? Is this something you've been doing for a while? Can you tell us a little bit about, what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate the time. My name's Chris, and it's nice to meet everyone. This is actually my first time speaking. A little bit nervous, but so Raw Gallery basically started with me just minting my own photography, doing my own collection. And then I have friends in the art community that are a little nervous about Twitter. It can be overwhelming. So one of my great friends from several years back, Ash Civils, she's a dark artist out of Colorado. She asked me to create a collection for her, and that's kind of how it started. I started just promoting her art and trying to help her manage her collection, and then I've ended up becoming a curator for several different artists all over the world. It's pretty exciting. I get to talk to brilliant artists from all over the world every day. It's really awesome.
That's so cool. I've been following you on OpenSea as well because I like to see the different people that are in your, in your wallet and some of the projects that you're promoting. Um, I think if anyone wants to get a really really good deal on artwork that is going to be much more expensive in the not too distant future, I would check out. I'd follow Raw Gallery and I would check out some of the artists that he's curating. Really impressive and really happy you're part of the Nomad community.
I'm thrilled to be here. I love this project, and I appreciate all the hard work that you and Isabelle and everybody put in every day. It's really amazing to watch.
Awesome, I appreciate it. Well, we're gonna kick off. We have a big evening tonight. We've got a Twitter Spaces that is kind of kicking off right now, where we're going to be giving away a Luther Brown NFT. It's pinned up there at the top. So if you have not made yourself eligible yet, go ahead and click on that pinned tweet. Follow Nomad Boulevard, follow Luther Arts, retweet, and tag your friends in the post. We will do a random raffle. I think at probably in the next 30 or 45 minutes. So go ahead and sign up for that. And when we do the random generated person who wins, we'll check to make sure that all of that stuff is here. So the winner will be chosen fair and square. And also look at the detail of this piece. It really is one of my favorite Luther pieces, and he has just so much artwork, so many NFTs, so much physical work. So check out, and Luther's with us as well, so we're going to bring him up on the stage in a bit. We also, over the past couple of weeks, have been creating partnerships and aligning with other projects that are either aligned in mission, that are very artist centric, and also projects that have teams with people that are really aligned in spirit, in values, that are trying to create this new space in the way that we're trying to create this new space. And MAKC, we had a chance to meet some of the people behind this project that are really, really great, have been doing some awesome stuff for the space. So we'll bring them up in a little bit later in the conversation to talk a little bit about their project. Some of the people in their community are going to be joining us tonight. So hopefully we'll be able to get them involved in the Nomad Boulevard project. And then also, we're bringing up a bunch of people from the Nomad Boulevard team tonight to talk a little bit about why we started this project, how it's turned into a full-fledged company with a mission and vision that is well beyond what we initially anticipated. We also want to talk about some of our core values, inclusion being a big one and what that means to us. And then we definitely want to highlight some artists and people in the space throughout the evening. So that is the agenda. If you joined in the middle of that rant, go up, look at the pin tweet for Luther. Make sure you're part of that, and we'll announce something in about 30 to 40 minutes. And that's probably a good time to bring Luther up so you can be up on stage. Isabelle, Brandon, Brandy, Andy, Joso. What's going on, Nomad Boulevard team?
What's up? What's up?
What's up? Thanks for having us.
So why don't we go around and just tell the room a little bit about kind of what we do or part of what we do at Nomad, and if you want to start, that would be great, and then we'll go over to Isabelle and Andy and Joso.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us. This is Brandon and Brandy. We actually head up a lot of the social media execution that's been going on throughout the launch of Nomad Boulevard. So it's been a really exciting opportunity for us to come aboard a project that's super aligned with with just the values that we have as people and just our vision as people that work within the advertising and social space. It's been a lot of fun, amazing learning experience for us, and it's like as the days and hours go by, the amount of people that we are able to work with and collaborate with. And the more we learn about them and their stories, it's really just opened up this entire world that I'm sure all of us, when we're first kind of getting into this space, are just kind of blown away by what's going on.
Yeah, and I think, hey guys, it's Brandy. I think to add to that as well, the most amazing thing about the Nomad team, which I'm sure a lot of you are going to agree with, I wish I can see you all kind of nodding, but how inspiring this project really is, and the positive feedback that we're getting, you know, the DMs, the constant groups, Discord, the comments, the retweets, and just kind of setting that stage for a lot of newcomers to get their brands out there, get their art out there, get their, you know, whatever they're supporting, and just kind of set that stage for them is truly what kind of sets the tone for Nomad and the team. And yeah, I mean, everyone that's involved, we thank everyone for just kind of supporting and being a part of it. Obviously, this is a huge week, so we're really excited. And we're just excited to do these giveaways, have this stage to where we get to also be introduced to new artists and new collectors and new fans. And it's just a really cool, dare I say, early place to be in.
I like how you said some of our. I like how you said some of our social.
It's a
Brandy,
collaborative effort. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's
yeah. You would be really good for like accepting an award and being diplomatic, and you know, like you could run a clinic on that. You know, Brandy and Brandon are on social 30 to 40 hours a day, 8 to 9 days a week, and it's been amazing working with you. Let's go over to Isabelle next. So, Isabelle, who are you? What do you do all day? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, it's so nice to have Brandon and Brandy on stage, so people can get to know them a little bit, because they are a big part of our team. And it's really cool because our team is like spread out. You know, obviously, like on our website and everything, it's, you know, I'm a Los Angeles based artist, and that's kind of the general theme of this first collection. But we're working with people spanning from Hawaii to California to Texas to the East Coast and Indiana. So it's so cool that, like, I don't know, just to be running a project with people in all these different areas and different time zones, and like we're constantly communicating, and we've become like a little family. So it's really, really cool. Yeah, I got into this through Hero Machine about 6 months ago. I was one of those artists who had kept hearing about NFTs, and I was putting it off and, you know, kind of procrastinating on doing research and jumping into it. And he and I met because his wife is actually an interior designer and had hired me to do a mural in a startup company years ago. I don't even remember when, but like I don't even think the company's around anymore. But that put me in Danny's in Hero's network, and he reached out to me because you know, we both have a passion for apes, and I have this character that his wife is familiar with. And it was just the perfect kind of like instigation to get started with this. And I created a small collection of 10 pieces back in August. They were additions, like ranging from 3 of 3 to 7 of 7, and sold out in an hour in a clubhouse room. And so I was like, oh wow, this is a thing. Like, this, people are actually buying NFTs. Like, there's a big, you know, kind of rising tide in this space. But, you know, as a fine artist, like, I've been painting these characters for over 10 years, and it is a character. And so what perfect way to kind of merge my art, you know, art, like I've been doing street art, and a PFP project, because they have these, you know, they have a personality. And a lot of feedback I get from my collectors is like, oh, I relate to this character so much. It looks like me, or it looks like my uncle, or it looks like my dad, or whatever. So that's how this all started. But yeah, I guess I haven't mentioned that I did start out as a muralist. So I was doing street art and oil paintings. That's why the first kind of portion of our collection was mural NFTs, just to tell that story. And we've also incorporated 15 other major artists in the NFT spaces and beyond. Like some of the artists in our, our resident artists have never dipped a toe in the NFT space, just like I hadn't not too long ago. So that's really cool. And they created a sort of like collab piece. So these 15 artists each did one collab piece that'll be a 10 of 10. So out of the 3,500 pieces that were created, 150 will be by the featured artist, and I created the other 3,350. And yeah, so obviously a crazy experience working with such a big team and doing all this artwork. I've kind of worked solo for the majority of my career, except that I also work in animation, which is a team effort. But as far as like my painting and art goes, I've kind of been doing it myself. So yeah, it's awesome. Like I love where this is going. I love that it's so much more than just the art. It's this whole kind of membership to something much bigger. So like what an incredible thing that this character now is more than just a visual piece of art. So super stoked on that. What's up, J-Ro?
What is up? Love it. Sorry for joining a little late here.
No, all good. So we're basically just going to go around the team and say who you are, what you do with the team, how you got introduced to the project, how Nomad kind of came into your life, all of that. Just kind of share with the group, get the group to know us a little bit more.
Right on. Yeah, and I was a few minutes late here because we just pushed a new update to the site with a lot more context on the project, about Isabelle, about the artist and all the nomads. You can see some previews of some of the gorillas we have from her, and some more information on the collaborations we have. Super excited. But yeah, I'm Jordan, Metaman J-Ro, they call me. I'm overseeing the Web3 tech. We're building out the minting site, the smart contracts. I met Hero through Joso, who might also be on here.
I'm trying to get him on stage, but he won't accept my invite.
Yeah, he's original OG Bored Ape. He's got it tattooed on his arm. Just a fun guy all around. But yeah, Danny, Hero, brought me into this project. Got introduced to Isabelle. Grew up in LA, so was very familiar with her work, throughout Venice and all over LA, and immediately fell in love with it and the idea of doing, an NFT project around it. So as soon as we started working together and had conversations with some of these other artists, I was just shocked at kind of the hit list that they put together for who we wanted to collaborate with, and going down the list one by one, like Brian Morris, Amanda, Wes, who's been a huge supporter. I'm just in love with every single one of these artists. Gavin, who's just salt of the earth human, one of the nicest guys in the space. Everyone was on board, and this whole thing is about lifting the community up together, and you can't do it alone. And every one of these Twitter spaces we've had over the last few weeks has just been exactly that. People sharing their work, buying into the community, collectors coming up on stage and talking about their stories. So I love what I'm seeing, and we're getting ready for a big weekend here for Nomad, and it's just the beginning.
Do you remember every time Isabelle and I would meet with an artist and they would say yes, and then we'd have a team meeting and we'd be like, we just got this artist. We just got, yeah. Oh my gosh, we got, this is so crazy. They said yes. It was, I should have known that like those were the good old days. But by the way, I think in 3, 4, 5 months from now, we'll look back at this insanity right now and be like, those were the good old days before we sold the project out. But still in those early meetings, I mean, we didn't, aside from Isabelle's life's work and, her iconic gorilla murals and the fact that she's well known in the space. I mean, obviously we had that credibility going into it, but there wasn't a single artist that we spoke to that was like, oh, Hero, because of your Bored Ape, my answer is yes. Like, that was not a thing. We really had to walk them through what the vision of this was, how they would be involved, why this would be fun, why this would be helpful to them, make sure that they knew that we were well aware that in addition of paying them for their work and their contribution, that we would be leveraging, their contribution to the space. Like, I think these 15 artists, I know these 15 artists make Nomad, put Nomad on another level, just because of our affiliation with these artists, and that's not lost on us. So I think, I think we all have this abundance mindset. We all know that we can help each other succeed, support each other, shed light on the other artists. And then, these artists have seen all the work that we've been doing for them, bringing new collectors their way, highlighting their work, from retweeting on Twitter to, creating events and having them participate. That's what we're all about. And actually, by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, which will hopefully be a few days after, we sold out very quickly. We're getting very green signal that things are going to go well this weekend. We have a big announcement that will affect in a positive way all of the artists that are part of Nomad Blvd. So, oh my God, why is he doing that? He's just doing. I'm just doing that because I'm doing it. And there's nothing you can do. I'm not going to announce it now. So sorry about that. So over to Andy. Andy is Waterboy. So in addition to being the Nomad Blvd Waterboy, what else do you do?
I'm also known as Wansan.
Wait, can I have to jump in. I have to. It's a Japanese name. So I had the help of my husband naming that character because he's done a lot of work in Japan. And one of the people he's worked with over there his name is June, which I think is a pretty common name. So it's Jun-san.
I'm from Indiana, Isabelle.
But I like how you tried to make it like you put a twist on it, You put it more of a Latin twist on it.
We call that the Midwest twang. So Jun-san.
I love it. And if you want to keep going with that, I 100% support it.
I like
maybe it was just a coincidence, that was the name that you gave the character, but that could literally just be the name he wants to use on Discord, which happens to be spelled the same way as June, but really is pronounced the way that he's been pronouncing it, which means just coincidence.
Yeah. Yep. I love it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I think it's hilarious, and I will keep calling you whatever nickname you'd like to be called.
I'm mostly you're talking about on the Twitter space, because I think you hear me? Am I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
Sweet. So I also go by Jun-san, also known as Wan-san. So what's up with this project? All right, so here we go. So a lot of look, first of all, Hero and I go back 20 years. And so he has been pulling on me for the last 12 months plus on NFTs. And I have a lot of family in the crypto space, and I've seen the ups and downs, and I've never actively participated, and I'm I like tangible things, so I've always been shy about it, we'll call it. But he finally got me in, and namely because our boy Wes, who we've also known for 20 years, had an amazing summer, and has completely transitioned his life, and so here we are. So why Nomad? I think the thing, I think Hero, the intent of this is to talk a little bit about community and what our value system is. When I leaned into NFT world, 6 months ago, the thing that really caught my attention was kind of twofold. One, obviously, there's incredible product being pumped out every day, and there is there are just so many smart people moving so fast. I come from 15 years in big
I can't tell if he's getting rugged or faking getting rugged, but
corporate.
there's definitely rug involved. Everyone else here, Andy? Isabel, can you hear him?
No, I can't.
No, same.
He dropped.
I work with brilliant people every day, but nothing as me. It's very exciting for me. There's a couple pros I would like. One is, good. Am I right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're rugging pretty hard.
All right, I'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, one son, or June son.
I just sent him I love you text because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. I just can't not. I couldn't not say it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Also, Isabel, my name is Eero. So it's all good, but I just want to let you know.
Do you dream of sushi?
What's that?
Do you dream of sushi?
I do. Absolutely. I'm going to ask J-Ro to come up here one more time. So, look, in addition to myself and Isabel, J-Ro, Brandy, Brandon, Andy, hold on, Andy's going to come back up. But we also have Joso, who introduced me and the Nomad team to J-Ro and his whole squad. He's also someone that I've known my whole life. He's kind of like a cousin to me. And when we first got reconnected, after not speaking for years and years and years, we realized that we were both into NFTs and we had a really funny conversation. And he reminded me, because I'm older than him, that one day when he was a little kid and I was a teenager, I came home from school one day, I went in my room and he and my younger brother and some of our other cousins were going through my drawers in my desk. And he told me that he's never been yelled at by anyone in his life more intensely than me. You know me, I'm not a really heated person. I don't really yell. So it's just so funny that he remembers me as like the big, mean, screaming cousin from back in the day. So that's, that was our first reconnection. And we've both been in the space now, over a year, probably closer to 18 months at this point. I've told this story a bunch in these spaces, so forgive me if you're in the room and you've heard this 40 times. So I'll say the really condensed version before I go back to Andy. When I was helping Wes Henry break into the space as an artist, it was clear to me that that there was a place for me too, even though I'm not an artist, right? And not just as a collector. Like, it was clear that a whole new world is being built up, and people with my skill sets and all of our skill sets in the room are needed to build this the right way. That was really cool for me to be a part of something early, and to be a pioneer. I also realized by joining BAYC, VFriends, other projects, that this whole collectible PFP project and the utility behind it and the smart contracts, I realized that most of the art was not fine art per se, and that there was a gap for a project that really brought in artists, that focused on the artist community, and that had PFPs that also looked like digital paintings as well. And that's really how it got started. We saw an opportunity, hooked up with Isabel. The timing worked out, and then we all came together and decided to go for it. And we gave ourselves a really, really generous timeline of 2 months to go live. And here we are 5 months later, approaching our pre-sale on Friday. And we thought it was going to be a little bit of something on the side. This has been around the clock, 7 days a week for 5 months.
Yeah, I think if from the art side and from the tech side with J-Ro, had we known what we know now about the everything that goes into this, yeah, that was definitely a premature date. But I love our ambition. Like, it was crazy ambition. And
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
I mean, I could have never imagined the amount of work that went into painting all these assets, and on J-Ro's end, just all the tech involved to make sure everything goes right. And it's a lot.
Yeah, I second that. I think when we first sat down, we started plotting our first, second, third drops after this one. And as we got started, I mean, I've heard people talk about their like forever communities and all that, and it's cheesy but cute. And I think we really just took so much more time and have invested in the community aspect, building out the partnerships and the artwork, super detailed artwork, and hired, other people to join the social team, our branding, our content team, because we really want to, brands last, communities last, quick little flips or PFP projects. You can make some money on them, but that's not what we're about. We're really trying to, invest in something that will be around 5, 10, 15 years from now. And, you got to put in the work, and we've put in thousands of hours across, everything. And I think we have, such a great team because everyone brings something different to the table. You got art, you got tech, you got operations, you got marketing, social. So I'm witnessing something special. I mean, I've worked, in branding and web design and mobile app development and fintech and all that for, 15 years. But this is definitely a special group, and you could just tell by the artist support and the love that we have for our own artists and the people that they bring in. So we're all going to win together. We're all going to make it.
Yeah, I think you bring up some great points, Jero. Brandy and I, coming from the social side of things, we've spent the better part of 15 years doing social media marketing, both paid and organic, both in the agency world and on standalone projects. And while a lot of that has been, focused on automotive or just, some big name brands out there that have to remain nameless, but it's been really fascinating for me to see there's a completely different set of tactics, intention, strategies, and ways about going about social within the NFT space in particular. And because it's so community based, dare I say, like very guerrilla marketing tactics. I mean, this is going back to the basics in a lot of sense of you're not relying on any sort of paid strategies. Everything is organic, and it really is that you have to be in the trenches and you have to be on all the time. It's the only way that you're really going to kind of build that trust within your community. And I think the Nomad Boulevard community has reciprocated very well. And they've shown us that that's exactly what we're here for.
Who better to create a brand too than someone named Brandy and Brandon, right?
unintentional, but appreciate it.
All right, it looks like Andy is back up, so we'll go over to him in a second. But for those of you who weren't in the room at the beginning, go check out the pinned tweet. We're doing this giveaway shortly. We're giving away a Luther Brown NFT. Check out the detail of this. This is some of my favorite of his work, so we'll get him up here in a minute. Make sure you're eligible by clicking on that, retweeting, doing all the stuff in the tweet. Andy, are you back?
Yeah, it'd be great if Andy could finish his story too, because like, talk about working around the clock on this. Like, Andy has been all in. Can you hear us? That sucks.
I think we just wait here in silence until he's back. I think the room would appreciate that.
Maybe it's because you're calling him Andy and not one.
Right.
he doesn't know you're referring to him.
Right. That's right. All right. I think we move on from Andy. Joso, if you want to come up here, we'd love to have you up. Also, there's someone who is here in the audience, Yanni NFT.eth, who has been super helpful with the way that our copy flows on the website, including helping us with a lot of the copy. So he's been a great, community member and someone that raised their hand to say, would love to give you some feedback. And it's turned into him kind of officially helping us out on this. If you go check out the website, we just went live with the new copy and some of the new images that we're kind of pre-revealing some of the artwork. Definitely go check it out, read through it. We've added 3 different sections about the artists, talking about Isabelle, meet the Nomads, the collection. So go check that out. And big thank you to Yanni. We've also got people on the team like Punk Actual that have been leading Twitter Spaces in the afternoon for the last few months. We have Greg Bean, and Noam. We have the whole team at Let's Be Friends that are responsible for the merch. So, by the way, anyone in the room that minted a Founders Pass a few weeks ago when we did our first pre-sale, you should be expecting a care package in the mail very soon. That's all Let's Be Friends. All the social content, a lot of the pieces that Brandon used to give sneak peeks to some of the featured artists' work on Nomad Boulevard. And much more. That's all Let's Be Friends. So it's been a big effort. A lot of people are responsible for getting to us where we're at now. And one thing that I want to bring up for the group, and I think all of us should kind of talk about this for a sec, and especially before we go into our pre-sale on Friday. From the second I spoke to Isabelle and Andy and J-Ro and Joso and everyone on the team, literally in the first conversation about Nomad Boulevard, we talked about the importance of inclusion as one of our primary core values. I work in the media and entertainment industry, or have worked in the media and entertainment industry for many years, and do a lot of that work, helping media companies be more inclusive throughout the hiring process. And so while it's front and center every day for me, it felt to me and continues to feel to me that the NFT space needs more intentional inclusion than any other space. We have these avatars, and we're not seeing each other face to face, and these handles. And while there's a part of it that strips bias, I think that it's really common to find yourself in a room with the same type of person, or I've been in a lot of rooms with all men on stage. We want Nomad Boulevard to be an inclusive community with representation, where everyone, regardless of how they identify, feels safe and comfortable, and can help us be an amazing community. So I wanted to bring that up, and I wanted our whole team to talk about it, because before you decide to join us and buy an NFT, this is what we're about. And I think it's important for us to speak about that. Not only is Isabelle our lead, our creative, our creative visionary, and every single design decision is stamped by Isabelle. We have 15 other featured artists, and we made sure to include 50% women. Over 50% of our artists identify as being part of an underrepresented community. And that's what intentional inclusion is. It's taking action to make sure that you're not just a place that, feels safe, and you're not just a place where, people are kind to other people. We realize that we're in a world that needs people in a position like us to be inclusive, and bake that into the strategy before we make big moves, and before we decide who our strategic partners are, and before we decide what artwork to do. Isabelle, J-Ro, Andy, Brandon, Brandy, anyone want to jump in and weigh in on that?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Amazing. I only had to restart my phone 4 times. Yeah, look, it's a hard thing to follow you speak about inclusion, because it's what you do every day and have done for a long time, and you're incredibly passionate about it. I will say that, going back to why I'm so inspired by this space, there will be a lot of experimentation in the coming months and years on Nomad, but also with everything crypto. And I think this is a movement that's got enough kind of momentum behind it that can really shape the way the world turns. And there's enough, I use the word portability, there's enough opportunity, there's enough things being created every day where people have an abundance of opportunity to kind of pick the path that they want to go down. And for us, we're going to do it all. We're going to experiment with everything, and some things are going to win and some things are going to lose, but it's always going to be with that kind of vision and value in mind. And we're just excited to get a community and a culture behind that, and actively participate and actively promote communities that stand for something. So I'm of all things, I think I'm most excited about that. Mic drop. Or I got wronged again. I don't know.
No, well, now I got to step in. I was going to just stay muted until J-Ro or Isabelle, Brandon jumped in. Anyone want to follow that?
I was actually just sharing the Spaces tweet to try and get some more people in there. I'm not sure if you've done that yet, but if everyone could share this space, let's get some more folks in here. No, I love what Andy said. It's super true about Hero and coming into this project. You obviously hear it a lot. Trying to create more inclusion and diversity and bringing women into this space. This is the project that's just a firsthand, like, real experience where, Isabelle meeting Danny and Danny coming in and really trying to help her with no agenda, nothing but love of her artwork and understanding the space and having experience helping, other artists like Wes dip their toes into it and have a lot of success. And when you come from that place of just trying to be helpful to other people in their careers and support them, it's where magic happens. And I think the universe kind of gives back. And that's the intention with everything that we do, not just in this project, but in our lives, like always trying to help people with websites or design things. And it's always going to pay back. Right. And seeing Isabelle kind of enter this space and do that with other artists in her network and passing it forward and trying to help others is great. And you have to be intentional. And the team that we've got, looking at the artists, 50% male, 50% female, and very inclusive. I commend, Hero and the guys for organizing that, but it's great to see.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Yeah, I mean, Hero and I initially, the conversation was around like doing a mural piece. And then one thing led to another, and I got inspired to create that collection, and it only sold out because, you guys, J-Ro, Hero, Joso, everyone on our team, like, that was part of that clubhouse, like, helped sell it out. So like, yeah, that was like a sign. It's like, that's crazy. And then, it's so cool too, because like, I'm doing a Twitter, not a Twitter space, an IG live tomorrow with Amanda Oleander, who's this super well-known artist. Her work is incredible. She's got like a 1.2 million followers on Instagram. It's like insane. She does these incredible marker. It's like drawings on paper and then painted with markers, like Copic markers, which are illustration markers. And so she and I were chatting today, like just in anticipation of the IG live tomorrow, and our phone call, like half of it just was like us talking like artist tips and like, oh, who do you work with as a printer? Like, oh, I work with the same printer. Did you know you can do this? Like, it was just like back and forth on kind of like sharing artist insights, which, like, I guess I don't really have a ton of those relationships as an artist. And it's really awesome that this community has kind of brought more artists together where we're like constantly chatting. I've had chats with all of our artists. Like Gavin was giving me tips on minting, and like Wes has been super helpful like throughout the entire thing. So that's like really awesome, like to have people you can trust and chat with, and like you're all helping each other. It makes a huge difference when you're kind of like, because as an artist, you are an entrepreneur, and it's very hard to be an entrepreneur like alone. Like you gotta have support.
Yeah, I mean, funny story about Amanda actually, and I don't even know if I've shared this with Hero or any of the team, but she graduated college and interviewed at a creative agency I was working at like 12 years ago, and we gave her an internship, and she came and worked for us, and she was, trying to learn web design and mobile app. At the time, we would always see her kind of drawing these little illustrations, and I'd come over and be like, "What are you working on?" And it was just such a unique style I'd never seen before. She ended up leaving to go work at, I think it was E Entertainment. She was there for a little while and then got laid off, and she's very open about this. And that was right around the time Periscope came out. And so in her free time that she now had, she started doing these little Periscope videos. If you guys remember, it was like the Twitter product for live streaming, and she would just film herself drawing these little characters, and she blew up and became a huge Periscope influencer. And even though they discontinued that product, she converted all her community into Instagram and has blown up. I think she's got like 1.5 million followers, and everyone I talk to about Amanda, including, guys like myself, even though she's like it's all about her and her life, you just connect with her art. So I encourage you guys to check out Amanda's Instagram page. She'll be doing the IG live. I think it's Thursday. But
yeah, it's actually tomorrow at 3
okay.
p.m. So it'll be her and I. So yeah, if anyone can come join and ask questions and like support, and like there's a lot to learn from her. She's pretty incredible. So
we'll post something up too so everyone can be directed. But I also wanted to add to the like value statement for Nomad, being a female coming from a very corporate world, and we don't need to be any negative whatsoever, but it was definitely just different. And now that we're kind of behind the scenes and the voice of Nomad, and we're involved in, pretty much all the meetings of what's going on, what the plans are, the schedule for the day, for the week, for the month, if we can plan that far ahead. But it's just really, we really wanted to let you guys know that it's the team kind of creates and wants to know, what does everyone think? There's a space for everybody, and it's just really inspiring. I mean, I kind of like the first Twitter Spaces we were on when we gifted someone an art piece. It was so inspiring that I feel like all of us, the entire team behind the scenes, were like practically in tears, because the artist that had won was, someone totally new, not ready for this space at all, and kind of was just like, yeah, I'm gonna retweet this and follow, and I'm a supporter. And that right there just hooked us. We were like, this community is so special and so exciting that we're proud to be a part of it, but also what Nomad is doing and how that has built into their core business structure is so moving for all of us. And I just think that, hopefully it's just going to be the best week ever. But this is just on such the very beginning phases of it.
shout out Mufasa. He's in here.
Yeah, that was a special moment.
It really was.
It wasn't just tears in my eyes. I was fully watering. Yeah, it was coming down my cheek.
Touche.
So I want to give an example. And by the way, we all kind of talked as a team and wanted to make it a point to get on stage together and talk about, our values and the importance of inclusion at Nomad, internally and externally. So that was definitely something that was planned. But this is an example of why being intentional is so important. So obviously we've got a diverse group of artists that we featured on the collection, and we were in a space last week, and there were some things that were said that landed the wrong way. We were all texting, as a group during the Twitter Spaces, and making sure that we all were aligned with what was said. But I've had a couple of conversations with this artist who pointed out some of the nuances of what were said, and how it could have been said differently. And we have had one-on-ones with the person who said that on stage. We created a space for that person to feel comfortable to kind of make an adjustment and understand why it dismissed the experience of someone else. That person has since called us and thanked us and is going to start working on that. Um, you know, when you're intentional about it, you all of a sudden have wind at your back for when things go wrong or you make a mistake or our group doesn't do something right or we say something insensitive. All of a sudden you have a whole community of people that are going to support us. For those of you who filled out our founders pass Google Forms, or you filled out our pre-sale form, you'll see that we ask for optionally we ask for identity information. And the reason why we do that is because we want to have a temperature check on who makes up our community, not to exclude anyone, just to make sure it's an environment where all of us are going to feel comfortable. And look, I think a lot of people have reached out to us about this and want to support and want to introduce us to their communities and their projects as a result of this. It also inspired these POAPs that we've been doing the last couple of weeks. So we've been partnering with lots of different types of projects to make sure that a percentage of our pre-sale spots go to members of these different NFT communities, to make sure that we're not only cross-pollinating and bringing people from other communities into Nomad, but to make sure that we're not just one type of group. And really proud of what we've done so far. We have a lot of work to do. Far from over, but that's where we're at. Andy, Isabelle, Brandy, Brandon, J-Ro, I'd love to move on and make someone a Luther Brown winner tonight. So unless there's anything else that we wanted to cover or speak about as a team, we'll bring Luther up.
Let's do it.
All right, so let me just check to see. Brandon, we already choose a winner, or do people still have time to do this if they came to the room late?
You have about 5 minutes.
5 minutes. All right, go up, click on that tweet, follow, retweet, tag. Do that in the next couple of minutes, and then we're going to announce a winner here. And while we're waiting for that to happen, Mr. Luther, welcome to the Nomad Blvd stage. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, Daniel. Hey, thanks. As always, appreciate all the love. And you guys are gonna have to excuse me. I just walked through my door, so I was really hoping you weren't gonna call me up while I was driving home from my IRL, the day job at the salt mines. So, hey, thanks for everyone that jumped in and retweeted and followed me and all that. Because of that piece, I really, really appreciate all the love.
So awesome. So your full-time job, you're working in the mines. Can you just tell us what you're doing?
Yeah, usually it's digging holes or something laborious, something like that. So involves a lot of labor. And no, I think you kind of heard me chat about it before and everything. I'm an engineering manager, so I have an absolutely the most boring job on the planet. When I tell people about it, their eyes just glaze over. So actually, I live in Northern California, so you can imagine everything's semiconductor manufacturing out here. So that's kind of what I do on the day job. Nothing too exciting, and as I always say, I just want to sit at home and play with my crayons. So that's what I do with all of my free time, and that's what I've done for years and years.
And art in the evenings until your hand doesn't move anymore?
Yeah, pretty much. Or my better half tells me that I have to go to bed or something like that. So, or I go and lay my little one down and end up crashing there, and then wake up in the middle of the night after a power nap and draw some more, and that's usually how most of the time it goes. So yeah. So and yeah, I loved the conversation earlier when you guys were just talking about the entire project. I've heard it. I don't know, just about every Twitter space, and it's never gets old or tiring hearing about, all the different aspects and how it originated and all the early conversations and things like that. And I was just reflecting from the very first time that you reached out to me regarding it, and I don't remember there was much convincing going on. I was just like, hey, yeah, why not? I'll do it for sure. Especially when you said, I got to see the character that Isabelle created, which is just, magical. And then I got, the opportunity to just, it's street art, it's murals, and I'm just like, I'm sold. And then of course you gave all the consistent compliments on my artwork. So, you greased the skids right there. So it wasn't much selling in that regard. And then, as it's kind of evolved, and I heard a lot of conversation about that, it wasn't much like, you know, scope creep on a project. It just seems like you guys keep coming up with more ideas, better ideas, and things to add on to it. And I can't wait to hear what this magical thing next week for the artists are going to be, because I'm just, again, just stoked to be here. So
Awesome. Well, if you are looking for something to pass the time, I would go to Luther's Instagram and just start scrolling, because you will just see, like it won't get old. Keep scrolling. An incredible artist, and Luther, we're thrilled that you're one of our featured artists and part of the project, and it's been great getting to know you as well over the past several months. I think we have a winner.
We do.
Oh my gosh. I've been announcing it every night. Brandon, do you want to do the honors tonight?
It would be an honor.
Ha.
We'll do a little drum roll, please. Brrr. And our winner of the Luther Arts giveaway goes to Grammy Davis Jr.
I love the name. Is
Go ahead
Granny in
and
the room?
yeah, I'll go ahead and invite them
Grammy.
up to speak.
I just changed it. Yeah, awesome. Congrats. This is a really exciting piece. I mean, it's just stunning. Like, zoom into the detail on this Luther Arts piece, and just from a distance, the colors, it's pretty stunning.
thank you, by the way.
Yeah, while we're waiting for Granny, I'm looking at it, Luther, and my eye personally goes first to the blue feathers in the corners, um, and then I zoom in, and it's just crazy how much detail. How long did it take you to do this piece?
I'm a bit of a kind of a maniac when it comes to this stuff. So when I tell people how long it takes me to do art, they're like, "Yeah, whatever." And so I'm just really quick. Some of that I will on a detail piece like this. Some of it is a little cut and paste, and I'll reuse the little pieces, but then I'll change them up. And but wow, I want to say I worked on this probably about, I started it just a quick sketch um, about one evening, and then I kind of painted it the next. I want to say so probably about 2 evenings I worked on it, and yeah, I actually make everything usually so it can be printed. So whoever gets this piece, it's a 13-inch by 19-inch at 400 DPI. So and I haven't printed it out yet, um, but most likely I will, just to see how it prints. But by all means, take this piece if you have a large format printer and print it. I'm I'm thinking it'll actually look good on my wall. So I'm going to try it out. Who knows?
That's so cool. I received a package from Luther, that included some originals and a bunch of awesome stickers, and also this coloring book that is like it's like part coloring book, part like awesome artist coffee table book, and like kind of a comic book. It's amazing. I was wondering, Luther, like have you done any more books besides this, or graphic novels, or like any sort of illustration like that? Because I feel like your work, like, and how prolific you are, it's just like insane.
Oh, thanks. Actually, I put together a second book. I haven't put it out yet. It's just one of those things to where I really need somebody to help me market things. You know, I just got lukewarm sales on it. But I haven't really pumped it out a lot. And that's my own doing. But you know, I think I have enough out of those designs, which I kind of use the term street pop, which is usually just things that I fill up my sketchbooks with. I'm kind of uh, at some point maybe I'll take a picture of it and pin it up on my profile. But I think I have an unbelievable and unhealthy collection of Sharpies in my studio. And so I like to just sit down with a piece of, I like to draw in Bristol. So I have just a ton of these designs. I probably have enough to fill up another like 3 or 4 of those books. So plans are, yeah, at some point I'll put them out here hopefully soon.
That's awesome. I mean, it's funny we're talking about this because publishing also came up when I was chatting with Amanda Oleander this afternoon, um, just about how to go about it as a solo artist. And it just made me think of, another possibility for Nomad to kind of assist with. And, maybe there's some partnerships there that we can do so that it's easier to publish work as an artist. Like, I think a book of Nomads would be cool. I think a Luther book would be cool. So, yeah, obviously it's very hard to like produce all that and market it as one person. So,
Yeah, I think that's the biggest dilemma, unless you have that 100,000 followers, or it's just a difficult activity to really get it out there if you're not extremely mainstream, or you haven't gotten that massive social media following. You just get like people that have collected your work, or local people where you've done local shows, things like that. um, they'll snatch it up. But getting beyond that, it is a little difficult being the always being the lone ranger out here. So that's why I'm stoked about the Nomad Boulevard community. It's the real deal. So everyone listening can really take that to heart, that yeah, extremely inclusive. I mean, I've gotten so much more fanfare as being part of the Nomad group. And so I just, again, happy to be here. Appreciate it.
and congrats, Grammy, on getting this piece.
Yeah, we're trying to get them up here. Let's see.
And also, hey, thanks for I'm glad you appreciate the stickers and some of the original art. I really don't get attached to it so much. So and it makes me kind of happy to share it. And I've done that, and I'll probably be doing it again. So anyone that's out in the audience that is a collector of my work, expect that I do periodic airdrops. But also the same thing, that I'll probably be doing this again here shortly, to where I'm actually waiting for some more books to come in, but probably do another stickers, and also send out some books, and maybe even include original art.
It's so cool. Yeah, the coloring book is going on my coffee table. Super cool. And the originals are going on my wall in frames soon. So they're really awesome. I love them.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Well, we got our winner of the Luther piece up here, Grammy Davis Jr. We got Luther. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you think of the piece?
Man, Luther, this is an amazing piece. You took a lot of time. I can tell you took a lot of time um with the design and her headdress. That I'm looking at. Like I'm just so amazed by how you captured all of the nativity, and you just got all of the things. The fixings going on in this piece. It's funny. A friend of mine and I, we just got natives dot crypto because um, we're creating a platform called Natives, and this is something that really inspires me. And I'm thinking that there's something that we can do together with the art, because obviously you really love art by what I see here. So we should definitely link up and see if we can get together. And as far as your marketing, I have some people that can deal with that as well. So I appreciate you guys for this space, and allow me the chance to speak, and give Luther his roses, because this, like I said, is an amazing piece of art. And so we just want to give our artists their roses while they can smell them.
Cool. Thank you. Congratulations. I'm glad that, you won the piece. And of course, yeah, anytime reach out to me. Um, Daniel will probably attest to this very thoroughly. Um, I'm extremely laid back and approachable most times. So, by any time, just reach out to me. That I'm always, my door's always open, man.
I appreciate that.
Hey, and if you two end up collaborating on anything, definitely let us know. Sometimes it just takes winning a contest that hundreds of people applied for and won to also be on stage with the artist at the same time, to also have had that connection and appreciation and a link to what you're doing. So with all of those coincidences.
Absolutely.
All right, congrats, Graham. Oh, by the way, Grammy Davis Jr. Can you just, while you're up here, can you just tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the NFT space? I was checking out your bio. Looks like there's a lot of stuff in there that you're working on.
So yeah, right now, I'm actually just helping artists and creatives alike, pretty much to onboard onto the Web3 space. Whatever product they have, whether they're a musician, whether they're an artist, we're helping them set pretty much everything up. I do have my own NFT project that I'm working on as well, called Love Flames. Uh, but really, it's just about me helping creatives in general on board and onto this new space, because we have more control over our business in this space, and we have more control not only over our business but our IP, which is very important. Concerning our publishing, our distribution, our IP, just in general. I'm just helping artists, and creators alike, just to get from that flat web over here, where we have a bit more control over everything that we're doing. Um, One of the companies I'm working with is 1331 Records, where they're specifically helping artists um, onboard to the Web3 platform through a contest where they just submit songs, and the people would actually pick who they like. And by the people picking, artists can advance rounds and eventually win a $20,000 grant to record their music and to release it on a Web3 platform. So that's something exciting. So if there's any artists in here, make sure you guys go check out 1331 Records, and just go submit some music, because we're looking for some amazing artists for that. With the natives, we're also doing some art, and they're a band, so we're looking to use Web3 to help to get their message out there, as well as their art, because they were artists and they were musicians, and they came together as a collective, and so I'm helping them, onboard over to Web3. So that's pretty much what I do. I just help with any live and um, digital media innovation, for specifically for taking a company from a Web 2 based product to a Web 3 based product. That's just a little bit about me.
Awesome. I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, we'll definitely check it out. I've got some music artists that are specifically trying to break in the NFT space that might be good fits for you. So, we should connect offline, and I'll see if I can send some suggestions over.
That's perfect.
All right, and congrats again on the Luther piece. Luther, thank you so much. Really glad that that all happened, and appreciate you being such a supportive person since day one. We are going to shift over and bring up J-Rob from MAKC. J-Rob, if you could request to speak, I'm having trouble finding your profile in here. So request to speak will bring you up, and would love to hear the story of how you got involved with that project, what the project is all about. Tell us a little bit about the community. And then we're going to be pinning a POAP that you can get by going into our Discord. When you get the POAP, aside from it being a collectible, we're going to be raffling pre-sale spots and also some future NFT giveaways. So it'll be another thing that we're doing to bring more awareness to the project. So we'll wait for J-Rob to come up.
Hey, Daniel, you can bring me down. And hey, thanks for inviting me to the space. I got to step out for a little bit. Like I said, just walked through my front door at home. So, but yeah, I'll pop back in as soon as I can. All right, guys.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Luther.
Hey, thanks for all the love.
Of course. All right, so we're waiting for J-Rob from MAKC. In the meantime, I'm going to bring up some of the other artists in the room. There are a couple of people that we haven't had up on the stage recently that I'd love to say hello. So I'm going to bring up, or at least I'm going to invite. You could always decline this, but I'm going to invite James. I'm going to invite Archer. I'm going to invite, a couple people that raised their hand to come up and say hello. YVR, Kate, Pong. All right, James, how are you? We met a while ago, I think 2 weeks ago, which feels like 2 months ago.
Oh, time flies.
Time really, really flies. So we met, and I think this was with Wes Henry in the room and some other artists. And you were explaining how you had only just minted your first NFTs as of recently, even though you've been an artist your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us like a 20-second, just kind of background on you as an artist and what you're doing in the space?
Yeah, I'm 57 years old. I've been a professional artist since I'm 13. Got talked into doing NFTs with my daughter, who's a professional photographer, and her boyfriend, who's IT. Never knew about NFTs, got into this world. It's amazing. The support, the talent, everything's just mind blowing. And I've told so many people this is like the environment that I've always wanted. And now that it exists, I'm loving it.
So awesome. Where should people go to check out your work?
Let me see. I'm just starting on getting pieces uploaded on OpenSea, and I'm in Solana. I'm in Exchange Art, and just got done doing a really silly auction on Holoplex. But I'll be hopefully getting a lot more things out and up. I'm a traditional artist, so it takes me a little bit longer to generate pieces than most, but getting my face out there.
That's how you got to do it. Well, I see in your Twitter profile you've got a link to OpenSea. Do you have stuff on OpenSea?
Yeah, there's the first thing that I started on was it was because of COVID, and I was hearing all about death, and I just thought there's so much panic and sadness and everything in the world, so I'm going to take the concept of death and spin it on its head. And so it's like, what would a day in the life of death be like? So injecting humor into it to kind of like tone down the stress and anxiety that everybody was going through. So that's like a humor slant on that subject, but I got all of these other projects like End of Veil card. That's something I've been working on for 2.5 years and still working on. That'll be hopefully uploaded in a couple of weeks.
Very cool. All right. Well, everyone go check out James Johnson Official. Some really, really impressive stuff. Glad we crossed paths a couple of weeks ago. And like I said in DMs, let's wait until after Nomad gets through
Definitely.
this wild week, and we should definitely talk offline. So thanks for coming up here.
Thank you. And much
yeah,
success to you guys. You're doing great. I've been following you like every day. It's just amazing.
Amazing. Appreciate that, James. All right. I want to go over to Archer next. Archer, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing so well. How are you?
Look, we're right in it. We're heading towards this weekend for our big
I
pre-sale
know.
and general public sale. So there's going to be a lot of craziness this week.
Yeah,
Danny.
yeah.
Oh, hey, Archer, what's up? Hey, I was gonna just say just a funny little story. It's Tuesday. Should you go to NFT Tuesdays today?
I'm literally driving, so that's why I was like, do I try to pull over and chat?
Yeah, Danny, we should go together. You got to hold me to this. I've been wanting to go to Archer's NFT Tuesdays. It's not her event, but she's part of the group, and she invited me after she came to our event IRL back in October, and I've been wanting to go to an NFT Tuesday, and of course, like here I am. I'm just tethered, chained to my desk, drawing and multitasking and in Twitter Spaces, and I still have not made it to an NFT Tuesday, and I'm really dying to go. So maybe we can go together. But Archer, it's a big week. I hope I have more time in my schedule in the upcoming weeks, because I really want to see you again too, IRL.
I mean, I'm telling everybody about you guys in our community as well, and it would be super cool to have some cross-pollination at some point with kind of what has been growing over there IRL. But obviously, this is just LA because this community is so much bigger and international. But yeah, we would absolutely love to have you. We have kind of speakers every week, just talk about whether it's a curator, an artist, or just people building in the space of NFTs. So it's more creative focused as well, but it's a pretty great space to meet people. So absolutely.
I love that. I can't wait to check it out.
So Archer, in addition to that, can you tell the room some of the stuff that you're working on? Can you give us like a 20-second, Archer art update?
Yeah, for sure. I am, it's funny. I think when you enter this space and people don't know who you are, which is great because you're almost too close to your own work. And, I identify as a photographer and director, but in this space, people actually think my work sort of looks like 3D. So I am like, oh, wait, let me back up because nobody knows me here. And I got to think more macro about my work because I've been just too close to it. So now I'm kind of re-identifying as, I guess I should start using lens-based artist so people can see. But yeah, what I'm working on is I love working on motion pieces that are a blend in the intersection of still photography and film and motion. So I'm working on a series that is kind of a healing series that is actually, I don't know what to share. Yeah, 20 seconds. I already ruined that. It's almost about like clearing your aura. If I could say it in one word, cleaning your soul. That visual is what I'm working on. I don't know if that makes sense, but stay tuned.
And where should people go to check out some of the work that you're doing?
Right now, it's I haven't shared anything with the world yet, but you could go to archer.vision, which is kind of the arm I'm building out of all things experimental, to kind of share what I do in my free time and love to. Yeah, that's kind of archer.vision is where you'd see me and what I'm working on.
Amazing. All right. Well, we're going to meet up. We're going to meet up in real life very soon. So hopefully this month or next, we'd love to do that with Isabelle.
Yeah. Thanks so much for bringing me up. I'm so excited for you guys.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for coming up. We've got J-Rob up here. J-Rob, I know we're also waiting for Evan, who just came up. So good timing, Evan. And, I'm going to pass it over to you. If you could tell us a little bit about, what MAKC is all about, what the project is, how it's doing, what you're doing for MAKC, and then we can tell everyone to go get the POAP after you're done.
Yep. Thanks for having us. Sorry about that. I was listening to you say request and I've only ever listened in Twitter Spaces. I've never actually been up and spoke. So I was frantically trying to find the request button on my Mac, and I could hear you saying, yep, he's going to request any second now. And I was just in a frantic panic, and then somebody told me it was in the mobile. So here I am. Thanks for having us. And so I think Evan will be joining us.
Yep.
Yeah, he's here.
Yep, I'm here. Hey, guys, thanks for having us. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, so we were introduced recently by someone on the Nomad team, and what I was compelled by was how this project had some major issues, and the community really came together to bring it back to life. Can you just tell that story and how you two got involved?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very, very interesting story. So, I myself have been in the NFT space for about 3 or 4 months now, and just immediately fell in love with it. Just met a lot of really cool people. Just had a lot of fun degenning into some mints. Just a great time. Anyway, one of the big things that was happening in the space is, obviously there's a lot of scams and rug pulls, and a lot of people getting taken advantage of, especially new investors. So I had joined a Discord that was sent to me by a buddy, which was an MAKC Discord, Mutant Ape Kids Club, and really enjoyed the art. Thought it was a really cool looking project. Joined the Discord initially, like everybody else, to try to get a whitelist spot, maybe be able to get in on the project. And as I was in the Discord, I was also on my Twitter, just doing the normal NFT stuff, looking at new projects, seeing what people are talking about. And I saw a tweet that was featuring the MAKC art. For the first moment, I thought, okay, here's somebody on Twitter shilling the project or sharing the project. It's a good sign that it's getting out there organically. And I looked a little deeper and noticed that the person who had posted it was saying that they were the ones who had created the art, and that they had only created 22 pieces of this art because it was very, very difficult for them to create. So I went into the link that they had posted, and it was an artist in the space who previously he had made a living in this space by creating derivatives of projects or just his own unique art or spin-offs of projects. He would mint them directly on OpenSea by uploading them, and then he would just sell them to ape owners, anybody who would commission him for this art. And that's how he made his living in the NFT space as an artist. And the Discord that I was a part of, they had right-clicked and saved his 22 images that he had created for MAKC. They had uploaded them to OpenSea 2 days after he had. And then they proceeded to fill the Discord with 10,000 members, sell the 22 pieces as a Genesis collection for the collection that they were going to be launching. And so once I found that out, I was in the Discord. I was telling everybody, hey guys, this is stolen art. I've got the proof. There's no links allowed, so DM me if you want the proof. And I was just in there staying vigilant. Everybody was calling me a futter, telling me to get out, the normal stuff. And a couple people DM me and I sent it to them. Spent a lot of time in the voice chat, got banned 3 times, made burner discords and set up VPNs to get back in and continue to share my screen and spread the message to as many people as possible. Hours later, the scammer admitted to scamming. He had left the Discord. We were able to get in contact with the original artist. We brought the original artist into the Discord. He was moved by how many people just were raving for his art that he decided to launch a collection. He already had 100 traits drawn, and he decided that he just wanted to upload 3,000 NFTs to OpenSea and not do a traditional mint and just have people buy directly off of OpenSea, which we all know in the NFT space, especially now, is a pretty unconventional way to launch a project. It doesn't give people a lot of faith when they see 3,000 items and one owner. And so we had that adversity to begin with. And as soon as they launched the project, or as soon as they launched an OpenSea, it was like 4 a.m. Eastern time. I had gone to sleep at 2 a.m. Eastern. Everything was great in the Discord. The original scammer had a profile that still had access to the Discord. He came in, said it was a second scam, a second rug, deleted all the channels, renamed all the channels rug pull. He banned all 10,000 members of the Discord. So it was myself, Jay Robbo, another community member named Quay. We all kind of came together. I think Jay Robbo made a new Discord for us.
Yeah, when you guys were all asleep. So it was a crazy time.
It was, yeah. So I woke up where there's 4 of us in this Discord, a project that had like 3 sales on it. We had no idea what we were going to do to get everybody back in, and the 3 of us kind of just came together and decided to get to work. And we just started bringing people back into the Discord. I think I don't even know how many hours I was in that voice chat, just answering the same questions, just going through the same proof with everybody, and really reassuring everybody that, hey, we were born in a unique way, and we're going to make something really cool happen. And so it was really just, where Robbo, myself, and, the others kind of started it. We were the catalyst, if you will. It was the rest of the NFT community who came in and kind of really brought the project to life. Because as we know, in any NFT project, the art is extremely important, it has to be really, really good art. But at the same time, the community is equally as important. And so we had an awesome community come in. It was all organically grown. There was no whitelist, no grinding for a whitelist. Everybody came in there because they liked the art and they wanted to look into the project deeper. And because of that, we were able to grow a really, really cool, unique, and organic community where we could all thrive and we could all give each other our ideas. Because this is a creator who might be a little bit newer to the way that some of these projects are launching, it gave us an opportunity to leverage all of the skills and expertise and ideas of all of the community members that we had to really figure out what direction we wanted to take the project, because it wasn't something that was planned out prior to launch. It's something that we were kind of just building together along the way. Luckily for us, the original artist and creator, he was supportive of a lot of ideas, really flexible with some things we wanted. Some things, obviously, we didn't get to move forward on that we would have liked to, but he was very supportive in that, and we were able to do and achieve a lot of really cool things as a community. Now we're looking at, he's launching a 10K collection, which is the predecessor to this MAKC M1, which is going to be a 10K collection with 300 traits. And we're now, as a community, came together and decided that we want to have staking for this next collection. So now we're, a team of myself, we're working with developers, doing our studying, our research, and now we're looking at adding that utility, which was born out of, community discussions, AMAs, voice calls, but it's a very community-driven project. It's a really cool story because, in the space, like I've been in the space for a while, you don't see too many projects recover from things that happen like that, or scammers coming in and stealing projects. It's rare to see them, recover and thrive, but it's also rare to have, a community built that way and grown that way organically. And, it was a really, really cool experience, and just so happy to, be a part of it and be able to serve alongside my other team members, the community members. We came in doing this for free without any expectations of payments or anything. It's just something that we came and decided, like, we love the space, we love the people, we really care about the artists and them getting credit and earning what they should for the work that they do, and for them to feel empowered coming into the space. And then we kind of took a spin on it, and really one of our big missions with the collection as a whole, or the community as a whole, is empowering new people into the space. Like, I'm sure a lot of you have noticed, probably some people on this call as well, a lot of new people are coming to the NFT space, more so in the last month than probably the last several months combined. It's crazy just how many new people are coming in saying, this is my first NFT, this is my second NFT. So it puts us in a really good position to be able to serve and help these people that would normally lose a lot of money on their path and maybe not continue down the road of being in the NFT space. So, we try to hold as many like impromptu workshops as possible where we're in voice calls, sharing screens, going over tools and resources, and everybody just really sharing the collective knowledge that we have or that we've gained, trading strategies. I myself have probably lost, a good 10 ETH in my first 2 months of trading NFTs, just learning and figuring out how things work and how the market moves. And just being able to share that with new people is it's been really awesome.
So
yeah,
cool.
that's the story.
Yeah, look, I think it's a great story. I think it also highlights how, when you find your space, you find a way to lean in. You can kind of become a part of the community. I think a lot of people are unsure as to what their place is. Whether it's start something on your own, join something that's existing, be a collector, create something. So I love that. I love that you're here with us, and I think now's a good time to just announce. If you look up at our pinned tweets, you can go and get this POAP in our Discord. So go to the Nomad Blvd Discord. There's a POAP channel. When you get one of these POAPs, it's essentially like an NFT. And we're going to be using this to raffle pre-sale spots for Friday for the Nomad Blvd pre-sale. We're also going to be using this to raffle NFT art, like the art piece that we gave away tonight by Luther. So if you haven't already, go check it out. If you have any issues, go into our Discord, ask for help in chat, and we've got someone over there that can help out. And J. Rob, Evan, unless there's anything else about the project, really appreciate you being here, and excited to see what you do next.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's good to tell our story and just what we've overcome in the last. It's only been 2 weeks, which is surreal. Like, so much and so much more to look forward to. But so yeah, I really thank you guys for having us up, and we love what you guys are doing.
Amazing. All right. Well, look, really appreciate you being here. Everyone in the room, thank you so much. Thanks to Luther, to my colleagues at Nomad for joining the stage and talking a little bit about what we're all about and our vision. And we're going to be doing another space at about 9:30 p.m. PST. So we're going to take a little bit of a break. There's another project that we're going to highlight. There's another giveaway. And we're actually going to be joining the space with Punk Actual, someone who's been hosting the Nomad Blvd afternoon Twitter spaces for us, who is an amazing artist, an advocate for other artists in the community, and also NFT millionaire. So come and join us at 9:30 if you're still up. Otherwise, thanks for being here, and we're going to probably do something again tomorrow, and we're going to do a big space on Thursday, all day on Friday, a lot of stuff happening this weekend. If anyone wants to come up and stay on stage like this week and share a little bit about yourself, please DM us, and we'll make sure to make that happen. And have a great night. And Horror Bear, who's in the audience, who's been doing these POAPs for us, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it, and happy that you're part of this community. And Ra, great meeting you.
Thank you, Horror Bear.
All right, everyone. Grammy, congrats. Have a good night, everyone. We'll talk later.
Thanks, Hero. Talk to you later. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
everyone.
Thanks for the POAP tour. Appreciate it.